December 11, 2008. Before Wall Street could finish its morning coffee, a single arrest shattered decades of trust. Behind the polished suits, he hid one of the greatest financial deceptions ever conceived.
To millions of Americans, Wall Street was a symbol of wealth and opportunity. Few names carried more credibility than Bernie Madoff. As a former chairman of NASDAQ and a respected investment manager, he earned the confidence of
Bernie Madoff's reputation wasn't built overnight. In 1960, he founded a small investment firm with just $5,000. Through innovation, relentless ambition, and flawless year after year, Bernie Madoff delivered something Wall Street considered almost impossible: steady profits, even when markets stumbled, while other investment funds suffered painful losses.
By the late 1990s, Bernie Madoff's investment fund had become one of Wall Street's exclusive opportunities. Wealthy families, celebrities, charities, and the more major came to
On Wall Street, extraordinary success always attracts scrutiny. While investors celebrated their steady profits, a handful of experienced analysts noticed something unsettling.
Among the few who refused to believe the numbers was independent financial analyst Harry Markopolos. The more he examined his reported returns,
With every passing year, more money poured into Madoff's investment business. Billionaires, Hollywood celebrities, charitable foundations, pension funds.
There was one problem. Investigators couldn't find enough evidence that Bernie Madoff was making the trades he claimed. Instead of generating profits through the stock market, prosecutors would later allege.
Then came 2008. As the global financial crisis shook Wall Street, frightened investors rushed to withdraw their money. For most investment firms, it was a severe test. For Bernie Madoff, it was catastrophic.
By early December 2008, the pressure had become unbearable.
On the morning of December 11, 2008, FBI agents arrived at Bernie Madoff's Manhattan apartment. Without resistance, the man once celebrated as one of Wall Street's most respected financiers was taken into custody.
Within hours, the financial world descended into chaos. Investors flooded banks, lawyers' offices, and financial advisors with desperate questions.
as investigators dug deeper, the scale of the deception became almost impossible to comprehend. Instead of discovering
behind every missing dollar was a real person. Retirees watched lifelong savings disappear. Charities lost funds meant to help vulnerable communities and questioned how decades of trust had vanished.
Federal investigators now faced an enormous challenge. They had to trace billions of dollars across decades of financial records while identifying thousands of victims around the world. Every bank's
the courtroom as Bernie Madoff entered to face federal charges. The man who had once commanded the trust of Wall Street now stood before a judge. How had this gone undetected for so long?
As prosecutors laid out the evidence, bank records, fabricated accounts, then according to Divesti, billions of dollars in reported profits had never been earned through legitimate
The fraud was remarkably simple. Instead of earning profits through successful investments, money from new clients was alleged to pay earlier investors with request notes. 2008 financial crisis intensified. Fear spread through global markets. Investors who had trusted Madoff for decades suddenly wanted their money back. Withdrawal requests.
With no cash left to satisfy investors, the deception could no longer continue. According to court records, Bernie Madoff acknowledged that the investment operation had reached its end.
On March 12, 2009, Bernie Madoff stood before a federal judge and pleaded guilty to multiple felony charges. He admitted that the investment operation had been a massive fraud for years.
On June 29, 2009, the courtroom reached its final chapter. The judge sentenced Bernie Madoff to 150 years in federal prison, the maximum sentence available.
The sentencing closed the criminal case, but the search for the money was only beginning. Court-appointed investigators and forensic accountants launched a worldwide effort to trace billions of...
For thousands of victims, justice in the courtroom couldn't erase the financial devastation. Retirement plans.
The Madoff scandal triggered intense scrutiny of America's financial oversight. Lawmakers, regulators, and industry leaders faced difficult questions about how repeated warnings.
The Madoff scandal changed more than individual lives, it reshaped financial oversight. Regulators strengthened examination procedures, investment firms faced greater scrutiny, and investors became far more. After receiving a 150-year federal prison sentence, Bernie Madoff spent the remainder of his life behind bars. The architect of history's most infamous Ponzi scheme would never return to Wall Street. Yet even as years
Bernie Madoff's fraud became a permanent lesson in financial history. Yet the question still echoes through Wall Street.
Bernie Madoff's name became more than a headline, it became a warning. Universities now to the case in finance course, regulators study it during training, and investors around the world at it turns extraordinary scrutiny.
Long after the headlines faded, the Madoff scandal continued to shape the financial world.
Every morning, the opening bell rings on Wall Street and uncertainty, signaling another day of opportunity.
Verify first. Invest wisely. Never trust blindly.